Is it possible for an average guy to learn a handstand? The handstand is one of those moves that looks really cool, and whenever I do it in public, I always have people looking at me and coming up to me asking, hey, can you help me learn this? And it looks pretty simple. It's just like standing on your feet, but except with your hands. How hard could it actually be? But let me show you my journey to learn the handstand and how long it actually took. When I first discovered calisthenics on social media, it looked insane. Like, what really inspired me was those public reaction videos where a guy would be doing handstand push-ups or like muscle-ups, and a cute girl walking by would look at it and she'd just be shocked. She'd have like a visible reaction, right? And I really wanted to be that guy, and that was like a big motivator for me to start calisthenics. So at 16, I started working out in my basement. I started doing push-ups and pull-ups to start spamming that to get stronger, right? And eventually I started wanting to learn serious skills. So I learned the muscle-up, which I actually got in 2 weeks. It was really easy for me because I built up the foundational strength with my pull-ups, and when I first started doing muscle up, I got it very quickly. So I think, how hard could the handstand really be? If I got the muscle up this easily, handstand is just like you just stay in place, right? It seems pretty easy, but that totally messed up my perception. So freshman year of college was when I first got into calisthenics, and I really wanted to learn the handstand, right? But I was actually too embarrassed to go train in the gym or in public because like I was still a beginner to calisthenics. I'd be failing a lot, and for some reason I don't know why I was just embarrassed to do it. So I'd be training in my tiny college dorm, as you guys can see in the videos over here. Shout out to my roommate for letting me do this. Like, it was such a cramped area. I'd have to move furniture a lot just so I could practice, right? And I start doing handstand kickups, but like I just can't hold it up for some reason. Like, I keep trying. Like, I get some lucky 5-second holds here and there, but like overall months and months go by, but I just can't seem to improve my handstand. My form is so sloppy and I just feel like I'm going nowhere. And I keep thinking the next session I'll finally get my first clean handstand. But no matter how much time goes by, weeks and weeks, months and months, I just can't seem to improve. And I don't know why, because I'm spamming kickups, I'm training handstands 6 times a week, but like, why is it that I'm not able to improve at the rate I want to? So at this point, I realize that I'm doing something wrong, and I reach out to my friend who's like very advanced in calisthenics. He's the GOAT. So I ask him, like, this is what I've been doing for calisthenics. For some reason, I just can't get the handstand. Do you think you could help me out with this, right? That's because I realized I needed to make a change. I needed to do something different. So he starts suggesting drills. Like, one of the best drills I can recommend for anyone wanting to learn handstand: go up against a wall. Like, the wall is your best friend in terms of getting the handstand. So try that. And I start incorporating new and different techniques to do this, right? And eventually I start seeing some progress. First, a consistent 5-second hold, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. I just start improving, and I finally start seeing progress of so long of just not getting anything. And the annoying thing with calisthenics is since it's such a stressful movement on your body, like, my wrist was just not adapting that much. So I was constantly dealing with wrist pain. Like, and if you guys know, like, if you have pain in your body, right, just take it easy, just rest. Like, I never pushed through the pain. I think that was one of my biggest strengths, that I did want progress really badly, but I also knew to listen to my body and not like do anything dumb or injure myself. So there were a couple periods where I had to take like 2 weeks off just because of my wrist, and I felt like that kind of slowed down my progress a bit, but at the same time my body was adapting. I'm able to do handstands on the floor now, right? I don't even need parallettes, like, because of my wrist has become pretty strong. So, but anyway, over time I start understanding the movement, learn how to stack properly, keep my feet together, tighten my core, lock out my arms, really dig into the ground with my fingertips, and learn how to underbalance, overbalance. Like, that's the thing about the handstand you guys don't understand. There are so many components to the handstand. Handstand isn't one of those things where it's just like, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's not like weightlifting, for example, where like you don't need to know too much, right? Let's say you're doing curls, for example, right? All you need to do is like control the positive, control the negative, keep your elbows to your side, right? But for the handstand, it was just like, there are just so many components. I feel like it's not like, I would say there are at least like 10 components that you need to learn about for the handstand. It's not just your arms or just your legs. So that was one thing, but I started understanding that, right? My holds got a lot cleaner, and keep in mind, this was like a year after I started training for the handstand. It took me over a year to learn a handstand, which is like probably one of the most basic skills in calisthenics. And I do admit it did take me a lot longer than it should have. A lot longer, but at least I didn't give up and I did get it, right? So that's one thing I'm very proud of. And at this point, I can hold a consistent 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So I started building up the confidence to finally start training outside. This is one of my biggest fears, because like, what if I fail outside? What if there's a cute girl watching? What if like everyone laughs at me, right? It's just something I had in my head, which doesn't exist at the end of the day, but I just had that fear. So I start training outside. I remember like my first one was at New York. This was pretty early, like first time I did handstands outside, but there weren't that many people. It was a small step. But after that, my college had this holy event where Like me and my friend, we just went shirtless. We started doing handstands there, right? Because of the nerves, we felt a lot, like a lot. But we did get some nice holds, and like you could see everyone looking. People had like visible reactions. Like when I'm training in the gym, I always have people like come up to me and say, "Hey, bro, do you mind teaching me how to do that? I think that looks really cool, right?" And I think that's one of the coolest parts because you admire a sport, you see that a sport looks really cool, and you're introducing new people to the sport. So I think I finally built up the courage to like do more things in public, talk to more people about this, and not be nervous and just training in my dorm. Right? I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm happy about. Finally getting over that barrier, that mental block. And that's why I learned so much from the handstand, not just about calisthenics, but in life, because you just start to realize that you can't rush progress. Progress does happen. Like even if it takes you a bit longer, right? As long as you keep grinding, as long as you keep working very hard, just doing the same thing over and over again, even when it feels like there is no progress, right? You just got to keep grinding, and eventually you will get it. That's like the biggest thing to learn from the handstand, which is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And eventually, something that once felt impossible now feels normal. I can do handstands very easily now, right? And I think that applies to everything in life, right? There are moments where it feels like nothing is working, everything is just going wrong. You just feel lost, right? But because I truly enjoy it now, it's not just about the results anymore. I actually enjoy training. I enjoy talking to different calisthenics athletes. It's just fun. So I started to see the biggest improvement the moment I stopped looking at it like a chore and really started to enjoy the process of working out and training.